This is our third and final film installment on RJ Harvey from 2024 against Iowa State. They lose this game in a shootout 38-35. He has 25 carries, a buck 96, 2 touchdowns. You're going to see it all, the explosiveness, the vision, running through contact, avoiding defenders. He's going to get a big play right here. But now obviously this is going to be a handoff. He's just reading it to see where the hole is going to open up. You got a block, a runoff here from the wide receiver against the corner. You got the tight end coming up the block right here. You got number 78 trying to seal this defensive end, and now this linebacker is just going to try to fill. Now, Harvey, he's trying to extend it out here. Now, ideally, it's just trying to read his blocks. Tight end kicks out this guy, so of course, Harvey's not going to stay here because then he'd be tackled for a loss potentially in the backfield. So, because of this block right here, because of the seal, you're going to get through here. You know you got a one-on-one against this defender right here. You're going to try to get as vertical as you can. He does that, runs through, gets about 5 or 6 yards on this play. That's what you're talking about, just the extra effort stuff there. Look, in the NFL, what matters, how quick can you get vertically, right? Forward yards is always the way. Now watch, he's just reading his blocks. Seal right here, outside kick right here. You don't want him to cut up in here because this guy is just going to fill. So he's tracking it as the linebacker, and now it's like, hey, you got one-on-one space. Can you get vertical? This guy's going to wrap him up, make a great play against Harvey. That's a hard play to do against him. Good play by Harvey here. Explosives are important for Sean Payton. He's got a running back that has explosive playability. Look, Denver has several running backs that have some of these traits, but RJ is an exciting prospect, right? You get trips up here to the left, so that draws out 3 defenders here to the offensive right side. Defensive left, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys here in the box trying to stop RJ Harvey. Watch this right here. Out of the pistol, inside handoff. The inside hole is not there, so he's going to bounce it to the outside, and now he sees a seam. Good block right here. I believe that's from the offensive tackle, and now get skinny, get vertical, and cut back inside. Now he's running. He's off to the races. He's going to pick up a big explosive play. He's going to get tracked down around the 10-yard line. But, man, he's got the ability to just flip the switch here when he finds a seam or a hole. And the Broncos' offensive line, internally, as I've said this, they believe they have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. They say that their offensive line unit was graded higher. Vision was an issue for Broncos backs, including Javonte Williams last year. They believe that Harvey has good vision. You certainly see that on display here. He knows where the holes are at. If it's not there, he knows exactly where to attack next. Now, look, nothing is here. Great crash down. If he were to go here, this guy's just going to step and make the tackle. This guy's going to come through and make a play. This guy might shoot inside and make a play. So it's just about being patient where there is traffic. And look, when you see this play right here, it's like, okay, where is he going to go? He's going to bounce it to the outside. Good block here by 78. And now it's like, all right, I'm going to get north-south. He sees that this guy's a little over-pursuant. He's going to plant his foot. Look at that. Look at how his foot's planted. Cut back inside. Bam. And now he's vertical. He's off to the races. Gets tracked down around the 10-yard line. The Broncos offense, they need this from their running back game. You guys want to see a touchdown here? Obviously out of the pistol look. One thing that UCF was doing with this quarterback in, they were running a lot of read option, right? It's, hey, if this guy crashes down, quarterback's going to likely pull it and take it, right? Instead, he stops and hesitates, and now RJ Harvey, great block right here by number 78. He's just going to take it, and he's off to the races. You see that speed, that explosiveness. Look, nobody's catching him. And look, this guy, this safety right here, he's taking a good angle. You always want to take a step like that, but RJ Harvey's long speed there, home run ability, adding this into the Broncos offense is exciting. That's what Sean Payton, George Payton are hoping the offense can benefit from this upcoming season. Is just you need that dynamic game changer. Is he going to be the starter day one? I'm not sure. I think there's some debate, some question about that. Whereas I view Audric Estime as a guy who can wear down defenses, and then you bring in a guy like RJ Harvey as a change of pace guy, physicality to his game, explosiveness, then you can gash defenses. Maybe you could even do that at the beginning and then switch it up with Estime. I mean, the Broncos are hoping that the run game really takes off this season. That's why they took RJ Harvey here in round number 2. They think he can be a big part of turning things around here for them in that department. Now, you're just reading this right here. He sees, okay, the kick out is there. He knows he has a one-on-one right here against number 13. And look, there's no hesitancy. I want you to watch these next couple of seconds here. There's no hesitancy, no shimmy or shaking. He's just confident, hey, I'm going north, and this guy's not going to stop me. Just up the field right there. Arm tackles. Man, excited there. I mean, I was talking to a lot of UCF fans. They said this guy's a home run pick here for the Broncos. He was the offense there in Central Florida. I like Harvey's ability to be a perimeter player here in the run game for the Broncos offense. Like I said, he's very good at reading blocks. I think he stays patient because, look, even when you're getting out wide, you're getting there, you could be caught in no man's land. Sometimes you could be waiting for something to develop, and that leads to backside pursuit. That leads to some hesitancy to where you're more likely going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage, or you may just get 1 yard gain. But he's patient here. He draws it out. He sees that he's just got a little bit of a seam here, okay, because you have a block right here, a block right here. And now it's just about cutting upfield here and trying to get as vertical forward yardage as you can. He does that right here, runs through 2 defenders, keeps his feet moving, and he's going to get those extra yards here to pick up the first down on this play. He's going to pick up around 13, 14 on this play. They're already at, look at this, 189 rushing yards with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter in a 14-14 ball game. Obviously, UCF couldn't stop the run, but they were running the hell out of the ball against Iowa State. So let's take a look at it here from the other angle. Coming out, Iowa State defensively, look, they got a guy playing outside the tackle right here. He's shading outside the tight end. And then you obviously have a zero technique, the nose tackle head up on the center. Linebacker playing fill right here in the A, B gaps. And then defensive end playing out wide. Look, really, they're just trying to, when you look at this front, attack here, attack here, attack here, be a two-gap player, attack and fill here, but then outside contain, outside contain. So you could do a multitude of things here. You could crash the end in, have him play outside, crash him in here, one-on-one work to cut this way. And then, obviously, I think attacking inside where you can command a double team, and then you get a one-on-one. I mean, ideally, Iowa State saying, hey, we got to stop the run right here. Now, how does it change when you motion him? Okay, now you bring the safety over because now you need an extra player. If this gets to the outside, you banana peel this from a defensive standpoint. Just good blocks right here. Good double team. Good job working up here. Good block right here. And it's just about extending things out. Good blocking from your receivers on the perimeter. No block, no rock. And now RJ Harvey's going to be doing the rest right here. Forward yards, first down, big play here by Harvey. One thing I hope we see from the Broncos offense more this season, I want to see more big man pulling, right? Guard tackle pulls to be able to create some space here on the outside. I felt like we didn't see enough of that here from the Broncos offense this past season. They got the guys that can pull. RJ Harvey's going to do a good job following his blocks. Hey, and Iowa State, they're going to close this down quickly. He's going to fall forward for positive yards, maybe about 4 or 5 yards on this play. But this is a concept, I think, if the Broncos start pulling a little more in their offensive scheme, I think there's going to be some benefits. There's going to be some home run plays. But what's going to happen here is you're getting down blocks here from this guard, this tackle, this tight end, and you're getting a reach block right here from the center, whereas this guard, he's pulling, this tackle, he's pulling, and they're just trying to get to the outside, right? Your wide receivers on the perimeter are going to be doing their job blocking guys, but hey, you pull tight down the line of scrimmage, okay, he's the first threat. He's going to pick him up. Next threat, the tackle is going to extend out. This is already being blocked right here, so this tackle is going to move upfield here to try to get the safety. But this guy is able to scrape it down against the wide receiver block, wrap up around the legs of RJ Harvey, and make the stop right here. As I've mentioned before, I think UCF's offense really struggled with up and down quarterback play, RJ Harvey being a big part of their offense. Defenses really tried to sell out against Harvey. Now, I like this screen design right here because you're going to get RJ Harvey out here into the flat on a boot. You got press coverage up here at the top of your screen. So the receiver, he's coached to run this guy off. This guy's coming down and maybe play backside, but then you're going to get the 1-1001. You're going to get the reverse pivot here from the quarterback. Harvey's going to be out here in the flat. Quarterback just throws this ball too far inside. Like, ideally, you want to lead him in stride where he's going to catch it right in front of him, and then he can get upfield and work. Instead, this pass is going to be thrown inside where he's going to have to spin and try to body adjust to it. It's a tough play to make. There's some frustration here. I like this about Harvey, man. He's a fiery guy. Now, look at this stat right here, right? UCF is up 28-27. It's 301 rushing yards on the ground, though, unfortunately, their defense has given up over 207 rushing yards on the ground. So if it wasn't for that, I imagine UCF probably would have won this game pretty handedly against Iowa State. So let's watch it here from this angle. And granted, for the quarterback, this is tough because you're having a guy come at you. He's in your face as an unblocked rusher because, hey, you're trying to set up the screen. You're trying to get up there to get some help for your guy so he can work in space. So let's take a look at it here from this angle, how the Iowa State plays them right here. Now let's take a look at the blocking. Boom. Okay, 1-1001. These guys are going to block and chip. 1-1001. They're letting this guy come upfield freely because he's either going to stop and go with Harvey or he's just going to try to rush the passer, which is the case right here. Try to rush the passer. See, and I understand, like, you got to get rid of this ball quickly. He's running into it, and he kind of just tosses this like a little bit of a bullet inside. Uncatchable here for RJ Harvey. He's expressed some frustration there. You're going to get a pretty solid run right here from Harvey. They're going to do the inside half. Nothing is open here on the inside. He's just going to have to take this and bounce it. And ideally, maybe right here, he could have gotten upfield. Because, look, I trust his speed. I know he trusts it, but maybe he's just, I don't know, overreading right here. Because, look, now you got a base block right here. Maybe he thinks this guy's going to shoot inside, so he's going to bounce it out, and he knows, hey, I've got a blocker right here, and he's just going to try to get vertical. He's able to extend and shake off contact right here, and now he plants that foot, and now he's driving vertically here to get positive yards. He gets about 7 or 8 on the play right here, over 300-plus rushing yards. That's nuts to me here when you look at it, okay? They motion him out of the pistol quite a bit, and then he's just reading. Because, look, ideally, maybe you want him to hit here. This closes up, so now he's forced to bounce. That's why you have a seal block right here, because if it gets closed up inside, you have to be able to get and go. Good block right here, and now it's just about reading. See, right here, I mean, from this angle, if you're reading it how I am, you want him to maybe just take it up right here. But I can understand he's thinking, but he runs right into where, unfortunately, the block is able to evade this defender right here. But I think he adjusts on here and does a really good job of planting his foot and then getting vertical right here to get positive yards. You always want positive yards. That's the play. RJ Harvey gets more than that.